So today we're going to be checking out the new Armani code Eau de Parfum. You know, Armani's really been on a roll with these code flankers. Profumo has been a hit. It's been a really well-regarded, very hyped fragrance, and Absolu has followed the same direction that Profumo went in terms of the hype it's generated, in terms of the kind of cult following that it has generated as well. And so now we have a new Eau de Parfum release. This one appears to just be a stronger, more intense Eau de Parfum flanker of the original Armani code. And of course, that's how it looks on paper. That's how it looks according to the name. So today I'm going to give you my full thoughts on this one. I'm going to tell you how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it. Ultimately, if I think it's worth picking up, and how it compares to the original and some of the other flankers out there. And I also did do a first impressions on this one. If you missed that video, you can go check it out on my channel. I really like this one when I first smelled it, and now that I've had time to test it and see how the performance is and everything, I'm going to give you my full thoughts. And I do want to let you know that right now it's not available at discounters. So FragranceNet, FragranceX, unfortunately, is not going to have this one yet. Retail is the only way to go. I do believe that I did pick this one up from Macy's as soon as it became available, and I will link it down below. It's retail price. It is kind of a tough pill to swallow sometimes, but you do get some free samples and all that sort of thing. And right now, that's the only way that you can currently get this one, although I'm sure it'll hit discounters relatively soon, maybe within a month or two. But if you are interested in Code Absolu or Code Profumo or A-List or any of the other flankers, I will link those down below to discounters so you can get those at a bit of a discounted rate. Normally with Armani fragrances, when they do hit discounters, they aren't going to be discounted too much off of retail, but still better than nothing. So let's go ahead and jump into how this fragrance smells. Now when you first spray this one on, what you'll notice right away is that it's familiar. And it's familiar, of course, to the original Armani code. The original is a fantastic fragrance. It's one that is definitely very popular and is one that's very mass-pleasing as well. You get a nice lavender tonka bean opening, so it's fresh and clean from the lavender. It's a little bit sweet and slightly powdery from the tonka bean. There's lemon and bergamot listed as a couple top notes in terms of your citruses there. And you do get a little bit of a citrus pop. For me, more lemon than bergamot, and it just gives it a little bit of a fresh kick. But with that being said, it is the lavender and the tonka bean that's kind of taking the main role as soon as you first spray it on, just with a little bit of a fresh citrusy supporting note. And I will go ahead and read off the note breakdown for you. Up top we have lavender, lemon, and bergamot, no surprise there. In the mid we have tonka bean, and in the base we have vanilla, cedar, suede, and musk. So what I have here on paper is the dry down. And as soon as that citrus pop fresh opening goes away, it's pretty linear, right? You get a nice bit of suede, just giving it a bit of a masculine leathery touch. You get a nice bit of tonka bean, a little bit of a powdery sweetness. You get a bit of woods and just a nice aroma chemicals muskiness in the base of this one. And that kind of gives it a modern take, right? Because the original Armani code was released a while ago, and just the aroma chemicals and the musks used in this one does kind of give it a bit more of an up-to-date current smell, which is in line with a lot of the other new releases, which are very heavily focused on aroma chemicals such as cashmerean and different types of musk and isoe super, ambroxan, and so on. Kind of gives you a similar feel with this one, which the original code kind of lacked a little bit. One of my favorite additions to this one is vanilla. Now, vanilla is absent in the original Armani code. However, in Armani Code Ultimate, vanilla is listed as a note. Now, unfortunately, I don't have and I've never smelled Armani Code Ultimate. It's discontinued now. You can still get it on eBay, but you're going to be paying over $100 for it. And that's one I will pick up at some point to do a buying guide video. I don't have it yet, so I can't compare it myself because I haven't smelled it. But when you look on Fragrantica, you do see that this one gets compared to, of course, the original, which I do agree with, Armani Code Ultimate, which again I can't attest to, but it does have that vanilla, so I'm sure maybe there's a bit of a comparison there. And it also gets compared to A-List. Now, A-List is one that I do have. It's a nice flanker. It uses a nice tonka bean orange, and the tonka bean sweetness and the bit of a freshness in this one does give you a bit of a similarity to A-List. However, not that much. This one still kind of goes in a bit of a separate path, and that separate path is a stronger and more intense version of the original code, but with the addition of a little bit of a sweet vanilla and just a bit more depth all around. And of course, along with that, you get that nice suede and that nice bed of musk from this one as well. And it just kind of brings it to a modern standard, because at this point, that's really the direction that men's fragrances are going, right? It's going that aroma chemical path, which is fine. It's just kind of a trend. Same with fashion, same with really anything kind of in this beauty category that we're in. It's all about trends, and that's kind of what's going on right now. What's very popular is these aroma chemicals, these musks, giving it just kind of a clean, fresh, modern take. Really, for me, the way I look at it is it's just taking the original DNA, the original Armani code, and just giving it a modern twist. It's different from the original Armani code a little bit, but it still does go back to that original. Armani code Absolute, Armani code Profumo, Armani code Colonia, those all go in quite a bit of a different direction, and really most of those kind of stray away from the original DNA a little bit. Sure, they share some of the main notes, but other than that, they're kind of going off in their own direction. Profumo and Absolute, very sweet, and Colonia, kind of a blue, amberwood, ambroxan, fresh take on the original. So if you're someone who used to wear the original Armani code back in high school, back in when you were in college, or just back when you were younger, right, and you remember growing up wearing Armani code, just the original, the Eau de Toilette, when that was out, when there was no flankers, and you want kind of a bit of a throwback with a modernized take, the Eau de Parfum is the way to go here. And I really do think that this is a solid release. Some people may look at this on paper and they may think, oh, that's kind of redundant, that's kind of dumb. We have A-list, we have Ultimate at one point, which is now discontinued. Why do we need just an Eau de Parfum? And I do think it's a nice little bit of a fresh update. It gives you something to kind of revive that DNA, and it's a nice little throwback. And I do like the creaminess from this one, the suede and the musks. Really smells fantastic. Another main benefit from the Eau de Parfum is the performance. Longevity on my skin, this one's a good 8.5, 9 hour fragrance. The Eau de Toilette, just the original code, my newer bottle, is not the best performer. Now, it could be a reformulation thing. It could just be how it is. I haven't smelled any of the old batches when it first came out, and I'm sure it was stronger back then. That's usually how it goes. It's the kind of the trend here with a lot of these designer brands. Reformulations happen, but the Eau de Parfum lasts through a whole day on my skin, and really, a little bit past that. 8.5, 9 is usually what I'm getting, but you'll find that it will extend past that a little bit. It'll just be sitting very close to the skin once you hit about that 9 hour mark and beyond. Projection is a bit on the moderate side, but it's an Eau de Parfum, so that's really what you would expect. Eau de Toilettes are going to pop off the skin a little bit more. They're going to be a bit more bright, and they're going to announce themselves more. Eau de Parfums usually do have a bit of a dialed back projection, and that's what this one has. But it still gives you just enough kick to get noticed when people are within kind of your personal space. So this is not a beast mode projector by any means, but it will get the job done. And if you do want more projection from this one, just hit yourself with a few extra sprays and it'll push out. In terms of when you can wear this, it's definitely going to be a signature scent, one that you can wear all year round. Summertime, outdoors is not going to be the best time for it, but you can choose something else for summertime outdoors. It can still be a signature scent that you wear indoors. Climate-controlled environments, this can be worn all year round, and that's the same with most fragrances out there, but the scent itself is appropriate for all times of the year. I mean, for example, something like Spice Bomb Extreme, one that I like to bring up a lot, is a sweet tobacco vanilla scent. And sure, you can wear it summertime indoors, but it's not really the most appropriate in terms of the season. When I smell Spice Bomb Extreme, I think of Christmas time, New Year's, holidays, right? And you can wear it then. But this one just kind of has a nice neutral, fresh, but also sweet balance to wear any time of the year within, climate controlled temperatures. This one will be appropriate for. So this is one you can definitely get your money's worth out of and wear it any time of the year for really about any situation, work, school, on a date, casual, formal. This one will do it for you, and that's really the same with the original code as well. Very versatile. And that is one advantage that this one has over Profumo and Absolute, which are a lot on the sweeter side. Profumo is more of a party, evening type of scent, and Absolute maybe a bit more of a warm date fragrance. But again, this one, ultra versatile, can be worn any time of the year for about anything. Compliment factor on this one is also going to be fantastic, and that's what you would expect from this line. All of the fragrances in this line are going to be great for getting compliments, and again, that's what the brand does best. I mean, it's Armani, one of the top leading designer brands. They're going to put stuff out that's going to get you compliments, and this one here is no exception. Smells fantastic. Combines fresh and sweet, which is always very successful when it comes to being mass appealing. So to go ahead and start to wrap this one up, my final thoughts on Armani Code Eau de Parfum. I really like this one. I think it's a nice flanker. You know, I'm a big fan of the line. I love Absolute. I love Profumo. Absolute is probably my favorite from the line. I just love that vanilla tonka bean suede. And this one kind of, takes that original code, brings it back to life, takes maybe a facet from Absolute, that vanilla and suede, and puts it in here, but just in a less strong level. And it creates something that is very wearable and is just a bit more of a modern version of the original code, which is already a timeless classic scent. And this one kind of helps to wake it up, revive it a little bit, and to put some more attention on that very popular and successful DNA, which smells fantastic, and it will pretty much never go out of style. So that's pretty much going to do it for me. If you want to grab this one for yourself, I will link it down below to Macy's. That's where I got mine. And again, you can get some nice free samples and stuff when you purchase through them at retail. Let me know your thoughts on this one down below if you've tried it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.